Hello, today I am going to share with you custodian services processing.
Oh, what is a custodian?
A custodian is also known as custody and is a financial institution that has the legal responsibility for a customer's securities. This implies management as well as safekeeping. One could use a local or global custodian.
Why does one engage a custodian?
By getting a custodian to handle the administrative obligations that arises from asset management, one can focus on the trading so that investor can optimize investment returns. It is also to avoid costly failures resulting from non-fulfillment of asset administrative obligations.
What are some typical examples of administrative obligations?
Typical examples of administrative obligations are the settlement of any purchases and sales of securities and the collection of income from the income-generating securities.
What are the types of custody services provided by the custodian banks?
Custodians are banks that specialize in safe custody services, looking after portfolios of shares and bonds on behalf of others, such as fund managers, pension funds and insurance companies.
What are the activities involved?
The activities include safekeeping of investors' assets in the local market. In this case, the investors do not have to worry about losing their securities, the securities being stolen or in fraud or counterfeit of its securities.
How about delivery and receipt of securities?
Arrangements can be made for delivery and receipt of cash and securities for settlement of investors' trading activities. In this case, the investors do not have to track the settlement dates and obligations, hence avoid penalties.
Wow, that is great. How about updated market information?
Sure, you will be updated on market information on the underlying companies and their annual general meetings.
How about collection of income and management of cash flow?
Custodian will collect income on investors' securities. In this case, collecting income from assets, namely dividends in the case of equities, and interest in the case of bonds. It manages investors' cash flow by ensuring the ability to settle the purchases, etc. It monitors and manages corporate action entitlements too, so that investors don't miss out on income arising from dividends, interest payments, etc., manages tax reclaims and other tax services, so that investor will not run foul of the law. It ensures securities are registered, including transfer of legal titles, avoiding theft, fraud, loss, counterfeit of his assets, reporting obligations to regulatory authorities and other relevant bodies are discharged effectively, so that investor will not face penalties or disqualifications from investing in the market.
Great, that really allows the investor to focus on the trading, to optimize investment returns. Now, which custodian bank should one use?
We have local, regional and global custodian to choose.
Global custodian, can you please explain on this?
Global custodian provides investment administration for investors, including cross-border securities trades, and keep the securities safe for investor outside his home country. They have extensive network of branches globally and can meet the local custody needs of its clients by using its own branches as local custody providers. Where it does not have a branch, it will work either through local agent banks who will then act as sub-custodian or appoint a regional custody provider.
Name me some banks that provide global custodian services.
Credit Suisse and Citigroup are examples of global custodians. DBS and OCBC are examples of sub-custodian. HSBC and Standard Chartered for APAC and South Asian region are examples of regional custodian. In addition to standard custody services, global custodians provide other value-added services to its clients, such as investment accounting, treasury and foreign exchange, securities lending and borrowing, collateral management, portfolio performance and risk analysis.
How does one choose amongst the different type of custodians?
Let me explain on why one uses a local custodian. The local custodian has country specialization and has regular dealings with local financial authorities and government officials. It generally has a long track record in local market and possible reciprocal business opportunities.
On what ground does one decide on using a regional custodian?
The credit rating of regional custodian may be higher than local market custodian, and it has cross-fertilized best practices across multiple markets. It delivers economies of scale benefits from regional support hubs and provides standardized reports across multiple markets in its region. possible better pricing for global client. Its size and regional importance provide greater leverage with local regulators, political authorities, and infrastructure providers.
How does a custodian charges for services provided?
The fees are ad valorem fee and transaction fee. Ad valorem fees is a basis point fee charged against the asset value the investor holds with the custodian. The transaction fee is charged according to the number of settlement transactions that the custodian processes on the client's behalf. Precise fees charged varies according to volume, where the assets are held and/or transactions are settled. The rate charged depends on client's relationship with custodian, including the reputational advantage custodian gains from the relationship.
What are the likely contents of a custody contract?
The contract may contain method used to receive client's assets, reporting obligations, guidelines for use of central security depository, business contingency plans, who is authorized to give instructions, actions to be taken with instructions or without instructions, indemnity to client for errors, negligence, and other contingencies.
Are there any risks involved in engaging custodian?
Yes. Example, settlement risks.
Oh, what's that?
The risk that one party will fail to deliver the terms of a contract with another party at the time of settlement. Settlement risk can be the risk associated with default at settlement and any timing differences in settlement between the two parties. This type of risk can lead to principal risk.
What causes settlement risks?
Settlement risks arise from late receipt of trade data, inability to verify instructions from investment manager, inaccurate or outdated pricing feed, staff acting on unauthorized instruction, late delivery of securities and/or cash, transaction with a failing counterparty, delivery versus payment settlement infrastructure is unavailable.
Any other risk?
Yeah, safekeeping risks that arises from poor cash management, failure to ensure money transfers in local or foreign currency occur on time, lack of reliable and timely dividend in corporate actions information, delayed income collection, inaccurate or late reporting to client's instructions not implemented, or implemented incorrectly.
Thank you for sharing with me custodian services processing. That was a great session. Now, I understand more about custodian services. I think I will engage their services so that I can focus on trading.